We're going to be looking at a program called Figma. Figma is used to create UX deliverables for web development. Figma is basically a collaborative design tool where you can plan, design, and prototype websites on an infinite canvas before writing any code. Figma is a cloud-based design tool, and we use it to create things like wireframes, UI designs, prototypes, and simple design systems, just to name a few. Figma runs in the browser, or you can download a desktop application, and all of your files exist online. They're not stored on your computer necessarily, which enables you to share the files and collaborate with other people. If you go to figma.com, it's going to tell you about the application, tell you about lots of different companies that use Figma. It's pretty much an industry standard for web development. And in addition, you can find out more information about the application. There's a resource section right here, which has additional plugins and UI kits and all sorts of helpful things. You will also be able to download Figma and install a desktop version as well. So if you want to download and install the desktop version, you're going to go to download, and then you can choose the desktop app that's appropriate for your operating system. Before you download, you are going to want to set up a user account, and they do have free user accounts for students. So if you go to the pricing section and you look down here, you can see that they have different tiers, but if you look at the bottom, there is a free version for students and educators. And if you click this, you can actually get the entire version of Figma for free. So you'll need to get verified and apply for your student version. Once you've done this and installed the desktop version, it's going to look something like this. This will allow you to have full access to the application without having to be online in order to use it. So if you are going to be traveling or without internet connection, it's a good idea to have the dedicated application on your computer. And then once you have internet connection, you'll be able to sync anything that you build on your own computer with the online version, and that will allow you to collaborate with other people. I'm going to be using the desktop version to introduce you to the program, and right now I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how the program works. Once you've downloaded Figma, or even if you just log in online, you can do similar things online. Right now I'm in the community tab. I'm going to click the back button right here, which takes me back to my recents tab. And when you first install Figma, you of course aren't going to have any recent elements, but obviously once you start working with it, you will populate this area with the various things that you make. When you're in this recent area, you do have several tabs at the top, and we're going to be focusing right now on the design tab. So if I click the design tab, it takes me into the design area. And this is where you can start to build different things. So right now I have an untitled file. I'm just going to call this example 1. So you can just double click and change the name from untitled, which obviously is helpful because you don't want to have a bunch of stuff called untitled. You will have a big area in the middle. This is called the canvas. This is the workspace where everything lives. You can zoom in and out once you start adding content, and you can actually have multiple screens or multiple pages or ideas in one canvas. So the nice thing about using Figma is that you can keep all of your files for a project together in one document. You can kind of think of this canvas as an infinite whiteboard. Down here is our toolbar. So we do have the move tool, a hand tool, and a scale tool. I'll be talking about these shortly, but if you've used any other design applications, they are probably somewhat familiar to you. Next to these tools is this tool right here, which is the frame tool. The frame tool is where you can create a container for your design. So generally, when we're working on something, we start off by making a frame. You can think of the frame as one screen or one page of the project. So we could make frames for a desktop version, a tablet version, a mobile version. Every page, if you're creating designs or mock-ups, they would exist typically in their own frame. Over here on the left-hand side, we have the layers panel, and this shows you everything that's in your file. So right now I only have a frame, but if I grab this tool right here, which these are my shape tools, and let's just say I draw a circle, you can see that now I have an ellipse that exists inside of frame one. So anything that I create or place onto the frame is going to show up in this layer panel. And this is going to contain shapes, text, images, groups, and even additional frames. This is a place that you may want to use to select elements. Sometimes if things are behind each other or on top of each other, it may be difficult to select them. So using the layer panel is a quick way that you can select something in this outline type of mode. You can also rename layers. So I have frame one right here. I could double click on this and call this something else. If I'm working on a sitemap, I could call it sitemap. And you just double click if you want to change the name. It's very important to stay organized and name the different frames and the different layers that you're going to be working on. This will make it much easier for you to figure out where you are or what you're currently editing, and it also makes it easy for you to work with other people. Over here on the right is the design panel, and this is where we can control how things look. So I drew this circle on my frame, and the design panel is contextual. The design panel will go ahead and display different options based on whatever it is that you have done. So if I click text, the design panel is going to show me all choices that I can do on a text block. If I go back and select the circle, now the design panel is going to show me things I can do on a shape. So I could come in here and I could augment the color of the shape. I could add a border. If it's a square, I could round the corners. There's effects and ways that you can numerically position and rotate the element as well. So anything that has to do with design, size and position, colors and fills, typography, spacing and alignment, borders and effects, all of these things are controlled with the design panel. If you select multiple things, the design panel is going to switch, and you can do things like align elements to each other or align them to something else on the page. You can obviously globally control things like their opacity and spacing and all sorts of different things. So we've talked about the move tool. We also have the hand tool. The hand tool is if you're super zoomed in without having to zoom back out, you can just kind of move around within your canvas using the hand tool. The scale tool is how you can scale something. I'm going to switch back to the move tool. We've talked about the frame tool. We also have sections and slices. We'll talk about these later. We have these different shapes, and these are all just regular default shapes: squares and rectangles, lines, arrows, ellipses, polygons, stars, and then you can add images and video. There's a pen tool. The pen tool is reminiscent of making a Bezier curve or line. So if you've ever worked with Illustrator, then you're probably familiar with the pen tool and how that works. Underneath the pen tool is a pencil tool, which is just like a free form tool that allows you to draw lines. Type tool allows you to create type. This tool right here is the comment tool. So if I wanted to add a note for someone, I could go ahead and add a note. And if I'm sharing my file with other people, they would have an option to reply or see the comment. And then right here we have the action tool, and these are just kind of preset actions that you can utilize when you are designing or creating something. And over here on the right, we have a different sort of mode that we can do. So right now I'm in the draw mode. It gives me options for drawing tools. The design tool is the default mode that we were in. And then the dev mode is where you can actually create code. This is only available in the professional version of Figma. So we're just going to go back to the design mode. We don't need to worry about that right now. Back over here on the left, in addition to the layers, we also have an asset panel. An asset panel is where if you've imported anything into your file, it will exist in the asset area. And there are preset assets that you can access. There's libraries that you can access. This makes it easy to leverage certain types of elements so you can get up and running quickly. And then, of course, one of the huge advantages of using Figma is the fact that you can collaborate. Multiple people can be working on the same file at the same time. And you can actually, if I was sharing this file with someone else, I would be able to see their cursor moving if they were working on the file. To share your file, you're going to come to the share button right here, and you will invite someone to share your project. So in order to share your project, you'll need to know their email address, and you can just add their email address, and then they'll have the option to be able to either look at your file or edit your file. You can set different parameters, so you could have someone where they could only view your file, or I could make it so that someone could edit the file, and you can add password protection if you need to. We generally use Figma to create things like sitemaps, which are our plan structure, to build wireframes, which are basic layouts that don't utilize color or images. They're just exploring layout. We also can create visual designs, which are actual mock-ups of how our website might look. In addition to making static mock-ups, you can also do things such as prototyping your project, which allows you to actually set up multiple pages, and a user will have the option to kind of get an idea of how you want the project to work. Figma is a great collaborative design tool where you can plan, design, prototype websites, and we are going to be exploring it and using it throughout the class. I did want to start off by giving you a quick overview, and I do also want to point out that this is the design view. If we go back, FigJam is a different area of Figma that allows me to do different sorts of things within Figma. FigJam is more of a planning and brainstorming area. You can brainstorm, you can create user flows, you can create sticky notes, you could start your sitemap process here if you're just trying to get ideas out. And it has similar tools, but some of them are a little bit more for brainstorming. So you can kind of think of this as like a whiteboard with sticky notes where you can plan a project that you want to work on. If I want to create a little sticky note, I just drag it out and then I can type whatever it is that I want to type. So, planning session 1 for website. And then we could go ahead and make notes. I could place text here, images. We have tools such as text tool, shape tools. We have the ability to select things. We have a table tool. You can use a stamp tool, which allows you just to add like a quick little icon to something. If you're working with someone else, they could use these icons to give you quick feedback. We have the comment tool, which would allow you to make a comment. We looked at that in the design view. And then we have actions here as well. So hopefully this gives you a quick overview of some different things that you can do. We will be focusing primarily with the design and the FigJam area of Figma. But to get started, I just wanted to kind of give you a quick high-level overview of how the application works and just get you familiar with the interface.